This is Christopher Oury with Nataris. I'm going to go over making our Prusa 3D printer print. We're using PETG material. Where's it? Amazon Basic. Alright. I've already installed this. I'll have another video later on how to get the filament actually installed. First thing you're going to want to do, on the side here, there's a little slot. That's for this SD card. Alright? You want to take this SD card and you want to insert it like so. Gold bars hanging up. There's a little bit off there. When it's installed, it's going to sort through all the files and go through everything. Then I'll say card inserted at the bottom. Next thing you're going to want to do, preheat for PETG. I had already told it to do that because it generally takes a few minutes to heat up. So I just wanted to speed up the video. Once this is preheated, I like to move this nozzle here up. You do this by clicking down on this tab here, scroll down to calibration, alright, my bad, settings, move axis, move Z. Now, when I scroll this up, it'll come up. It doesn't have to go up all the way. I generally like to give it a little bit more clearance than it naturally does. That wasn't even at home. That was after a print was finished. Next, spray a little bit of Windex onto your rag. I'm just using a paper towel. Wipe it down. Be fairly quick. This bed does get pretty hot. Alright, you want to wipe it down and clean it off. It's also going to this Windex will also lay down a filament, which helps the prints not stick too bad to the bed. So make sure that you get all across. Next thing you want to do, take your paint scraper or whatever it is that you use to remove any particulate that's still on the printer from previous prints. So I'm going to remove this here and come up here. That's actually a scratch in the printer. And as you can see, the rest of this is pretty clean. Once again, I'm going to take this rag and just wipe it over where I just scraped, just to replace that filament down. Alright. Now that you've done that, you're going to want to clean this nozzle off. As you can see, the material kind of curls back up and clings to itself. Take a pair of tweezers and grab this material and just pull it off. That's going to remove all that extra material that's hanging out from the extruder. Your next step, you want to take a brass brush, alright, and you're going to want to scrub this tip clean. Alright, as you can see now, that tip's extremely clean. There's a little bit of what looks to be hair hanging out on the back. That'll be fine though. Let me see. Alright. Now that I've done that, I'm going to come back here to this screen. As you can see in the top here, it tells you the temperatures This top one is the nozzle. This bottom one is the bed. 230 to 230, 85 to 85. That's the setup range for PETG in particular. Next, you'll go to print from SD card. I'm going to come into, if you go into a file and you need to back out, just clicking this file up here goes back. I'm going to go to the battery and I'm going to print this test battery strap here. It'll go through heating it all up, making sure everything's right, based off of the file that you had installed here. As you can see, mine wanted to bump it back. The file wanted it to go to 240 degrees as opposed to 220. So we're going to wait a second as it goes up. Once it goes up to 240, everything is going to auto home. Now this printer is going to go through a Z calibration where it's going to tap down on 9 points on the printer. Occasionally it'll leave little pieces of PETG around. You can take this scraper and just quickly scrape it off. The material's not going to cause any issues, but I like to keep the bed clean. Next thing it's going to do is it's going to do a flow test and just make sure that this line here is nice, even, all the way back. That is how you make the 3D printer print.